Hello, hello. Welcome to everyone. We're excited to have you here today. We're going to have a fantastic presentation for you guys, learning all about the NMTA Pittsburgh program, apprenticeship program. So there's going to be plenty of good information here. Let me open up my slides here so that I can walk you through a few things. All right. So if you're a veteran here on the call, go ahead and please use that QR code to get signed in. Getting signed in is important to us because we see who attended the call, and then if we send out these slides or presentations to you that attended the call, I will have that on record so I can send it to your email. Make sure that you take notes, have your pen and paper or your electronic device or whatever is preferable to you. Engage and ask questions. This is an awesome time to really have an intimate setting with this team. You don't get it often if you were just to inquire on a website or something like that. But you have the team here, so be prepared to engage, ask questions that you want. No question is a dumb question. So please, as we get to the question and answer period, feel free to open up. And if you're a little bit shy and you don't want to ask vocally, go ahead and put that in the chat, and I'll moderate the chat and ask that question for you.
I have like a statement or something. I can barely hear you.
How's everyone else's audio for me? Good? Okay.
Good on my end. Hey.
Yeah, it might be your volume settings or something on your computer, Chody. So today we have the NMTA Pittsburgh chapter. They're going to be talking to you about their apprenticeship program in manufacturing. We also have Jennifer Bickley, the NextOp board president. So really happy to have her here. Excited that she's going to see one of these presentations with you guys. Then we'll have the question and answer, and then the closing. I just have one ask of you towards the end. As we near the end and the question and answer period is over, I'm going to drop a link in the chat for a survey. Please take this survey. If there's anything you do, answer these 5 questions. They're multiple choice, most of them, and a few are requiring for you to put some input. But we'd really love your input on this because it helps us improve. It gives feedback to the presenters. Yeah, that's it. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Jennifer Bickley, our NextOp board president.
Thanks, Anthony, and thanks to everybody who's attending here today and who is checking us out virtually after the fact. So as Anthony mentioned, I'm the president of the NextOp board of directors, and it's not normal that I get to participate in these kinds of calls. Generally, your job on a board is to raise money to support the mission and to support your staff and make sure that we're keeping the doors open and the lights on. But this year I have a slightly different role in addition to my main board work, and that is seeing if we can expand what we're doing in Texas and Louisiana and on through up in Huntsville and Memphis and those areas up towards the East Coast and jumping off in the Pittsburgh area. So last year, my husband had the opportunity to transfer to Pittsburgh for his job. He was in the Army. He is a veteran that served in the Iraq War. And we hadn't really had an adventure. I'm a native Texan, and I have lived in Texas my entire life, and except for wartime, whenever we were stationed in Germany. And so we said, let's do it. So we packed up the kids and we moved ourselves to Pittsburgh. I quickly realized upon moving here that this was going to be a great opportunity for a NextOp expansion. Pittsburgh has so much to offer, and I believe it is a great fit for the service members who are coming out, who are looking to challenge themselves, growing into a new area, those who may be from the East Coast or from Pennsylvania, but also those who are willing to branch out and make yet one more move after the military and see if you can find a home here. So now my mission is to try to pave the way for NextOp in this area. And I want to let you know what a great place Pittsburgh has been. So even though it's a little bit colder than my native Texas and where I spent most of my time in Houston as an adult, it's just such a veteran friendly town for a lot of reasons. So, Pittsburgh has an overall pretty low cost of living, and it's a big city, all, wrapped up in a low number of people. So, from Houston being several million, Pittsburgh is 300,000. So there's no I-10. People that live here think that there's a lot of traffic. I assure you there is not. It's super easy to get around. It's very family friendly. There's a lot of state parks. There are a lot of walking trails. There are so many incredible restaurants. It is just a really fun place to be. The schools are good. The sports associations are good. And then, of course, as long as you can wear black and gold, you're set for all of the major sports teams. So you got 4 different ones that you can cheer on here. And I think it's a really fun family atmosphere. It has, all the benefits of the big city, but a lot of the perks of being in a small town. So there's also parts of town when you drive through, they're so veteran friendly that there are flagpoles up. I think it's in Robinson Township. I'm still learning the township thing, but they have these light poles going on the street, and there's like a different veteran spotlighted on each one. So it's a really great, a great feel. And there's a lot of veteran owned businesses as well. So, we had a minor car accident, meaning my mother backed one of my cars into another of our cars. And so we needed to run in and get an estimate. And so we showed up, and they were really busy and they didn't have time. And my husband saw that it was veteran owned, and he just asked him about it. And suddenly that tone completely shifted and everything changed, and they immediately had time to come out and look in our car. So really, I'm super excited, that we have the opportunity to bring the services that NextOp offers to the people living in or that want to move to the Pittsburgh area. And so to top that all off, we immediately got in touch with Michelle and her team at the NTMA, and they have, or did I say it backwards, Michelle? I always get confused.
You got it.
NTMA or
NTMA. Yep, you got
NTMA.
it.
I got it. Okay, so they're here. They have some great programs that are already in place, apprenticeship programs. They're really connected in this industry and across Pittsburgh, and they're excited to have this partnership with us and allow us to bring some veteran candidates to them. So my hope is that somebody on this call or somebody who watches this after the fact is going to get to contact me and tell me that they're the very first job placement of NextOp in the Pittsburgh area. And so with that, I'm going to turn it over to Michelle and let her tell you some of the fun things about Pittsburgh and what they have to offer for you.
Awesome. Thank you, Jen. And Liz just had to step away, so I'm going to pivot here and see if I can share my slides, because we didn't practice that in our warm-up today, of course. So let me just get this squared away here. But my name is Michelle Conklin, and I'm the chapter executive of the Pittsburgh chapter NTMA. I'll share a little bit more about the NTMA here shortly. But let me get my screen shared. I think I'm not sharing sound, so we'll switch to Liz when she comes in. So I'm a native Pittsburgher. So you may pick up on an accent. I don't know what anyone's talking about, because this is how I've always spoken. And everyone else just talks differently. But I want to give a little geography first about where Pittsburgh is. In this first picture, you see Pittsburgh's located in the Northeast United States. It's the red state there. And specifically within Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh is in southwestern PA. But when we talk about Pittsburgh, we're actually talking about a 15 county area. So that light green color is what we consider the Pittsburgh metropolitan area. Sometimes it's called the tri-state Pittsburgh area, which would include Ohio, which is the darker green to the left, and the gray which is West Virginia. But this area is pretty much all central to the city. So you can get into the city within about an hour to an hour and a half drive. Pittsburgh, as I mentioned, is really close to the Ohio, West Virginia, and Virginia borders. And you can get really easily to a lot of major cities, including Cleveland in a little under 2 hours, DC in about 4, Philly and New York City in about 5 hours. And the cool thing that I think about this region is that it includes urban, which is that green tiny dot in the center of Allegheny County. That's the city. Lots of suburban area, and then a lot of rural communities. So it really gives that flavor for all types of areas. So Pittsburgh as a region, when they did this population census, it actually considers only 10 of those 15 counties. So it's a little bit closer and condensed in towards the city. But our region has about 2.5 million people living across those 10 counties. And the average median age in 2023 was about 44. But the thing to highlight is a little more than 57% of the population is aged 20 to 64. So right in that sweet spot for working. In addition to manufacturing, which is something we're going to talk about a lot today, we have 5 key industries, big employers in our region. Healthcare is number 1. It's our largest private employer is the University of Pittsburgh's Medical Center, our hospital system, employing over 40,000 individuals. But we also have several smaller healthcare systems like AHN. Education, we're home to the University of Pittsburgh as well as Carnegie Mellon. Pitt is actually our second highest employer in the region with over 12,000 employees and several smaller colleges and universities here. As I mentioned, manufacturing, we're going to talk a lot more about that today, but our region is rich. We're right in the Rust Belt of the United States, and our history is rich in steel, and U.S. Steel is still one of our larger employers with almost 5,000 employees here locally, expected to grow. Technology is also really big here. Pittsburgh is considered the robotics capital of the world, which is pretty awesome. Given those education partnerships with Pitt and CMU, we have over 100 robotics startup companies and other larger companies in our region. And last and certainly not least is finance. Combined, we have PNC Bank and we have BNY Mellon with over 16,000 employees in our region. So you can see there's a lot of diversity to the industries that we support, although we'll still be focusing today on manufacturing. The quality of life, as Jen alluded to, it is extremely family friendly here in Pittsburgh. There's a lot of outdoor recreation. We are part of the GAP Trail, the Great Allegheny Passage, which connects Pittsburgh to Washington, D.C., where you can bike, hike, whatever, literally to the city. We're less than 2 hours from Lake Erie, the Allegheny National Forest, and the Appalachian Mountains. We have lots of state and local parks, including Ohio Pile here in our region, which has some really great whitewater rafting opportunities. We like to consider ourselves the city of champions when we talk about sports. However, we won't talk about the game Monday night with the Steelers, but we have several amazing professional sports teams, the Pirates, the Steelers, and the Penguins, but also we have the Riverhounds, who won their first league title this past November, and they are the 2025 USL soccer champions. We have strong college sports at the University of Pittsburgh, but we also have some really unique sports here like roller derby, ultimate frisbee, rugby. So there's a lot of really cool ways that athletics plays a part in our region. And then Pittsburgh is hosting the NFL draft in just a few months here in April. Arts and culture, really big. Lots of great museums in our region. We have the Carnegie Museum, who offers a variety of history and hands-on experiences. We have the Heinz History Center. We have a children's museum, which is phenomenal. And we have a science center, which is also great. We have music and performing arts. We have the symphony orchestra, the ballet theater, the opera. So really pretty much anything and everything, if that's something of interest to you. As Jen said, we are an extremely affordable cost of living, 2% lower than the national average. And our affordable housing is really what's driving that. It's about 7% lower than the national average. And when we look at other major cities, it is even significantly lower than that. We are very family friendly with our neighborhoods. Actually, if you look at the city itself, the city of Pittsburgh, there are 90 different neighborhoods. Jen, I hope you guys get to explore some of them. But each neighborhood is diverse in its ethnicity, and its culture, and it really brings a lot to our community. The U.S. News and World Report ranked Pennsylvania number 20 for pre-K to 12 and number 6 for higher education. But if you look at our region school district, we have many that are often in the top 10 nationally for K to 12. So it's pretty impressive there. And as Jen said, our veteran ecosystem is strong. Veteran service organizations, including we have a VA hospital here in Pittsburgh, which has had major updates and improvements since the 1990s. There's a lot of workforce and training partners that are focused on transition success. And we have a lot of employers who are actively seeking and value veterans. So from our perspective, veterans are not just treated as a checkbox. You are seen as assets to our region. So why manufacturing? That's really what we're here to talk about today. There's a lot of great industry and things happening in our region, but manufacturing in Pennsylvania ranked 6th in the nation among employment. It contributes more than $111 billion to the state economy each year. This is significant. PA manufacturing employs about 1 in 10 residents that are of working age, and jobs are a variety. So you'll hear a lot today about the production job of being a machinist, which is a great entry-level role. But there's other production jobs, including welders, production workers, and assemblers. We have other technical jobs, such as engineers and maintenance technicians. We have quality inspectors and test engineers, and we have a lot of office support, project managers, sales and marketing, HR, finance, and accounting. So manufacturing, when we say it employs 1 in 10 residents, it is a wide range of skills and knowledge and career pathways for those individuals within manufacturing. For example, you could start as an assembler, as an entry-level role right out of high school, get put into an apprenticeship like the NTMA apprenticeship, which we'll be talking about today, and then end up getting your engineering degree because that was ultimately the goal that you had. There's a lot of our local companies that Liz will be talking a little bit more about today too, that will pay 100% for your training beyond just that entry-level apprenticeship role. And last but certainly not least, manufacturing is very different than what it used to be. It's mission-driven work. It's clean, high-tech, and it's precision-driven. We have employers here locally who are critical to the aerospace, defense, medical, energy, and technology sectors. And it is a direct impact that you will see every day. So products and components that are getting made here locally are impacting not just the local economy, but the nation and the world. The Pittsburgh chapter, NTMA, is who we represent, and this is really comprised of small to medium-sized metalworking manufacturers. But in the state of Pennsylvania, 92% of PA's manufacturing base is small and medium-sized manufacturers. So our bread and butter here for the Pittsburgh chapter is just that. We support 70 member companies, and we support them through a variety of services, including networking and educational workshops. We do advocacy at the national, state, and local levels, and we build a community for them. But one of the things we're going to focus on today is our workforce development, and specifically our apprenticeship. We also do a lot with youth, just as an FYI, to get kids interested in these career pathways through our youth program called BOTS IQ. Looking at our 70 members, you can see they are across the region here, centrally to Pittsburgh and Westmoreland and Armstrong and Butler counties. But 25% of those 70 members are actually defense contractors too, doing work in the industry. 3 that I wanted to highlight here, Hamel Manufacturing. It's an employee-owned company of about 100 to 120 employees. And for more than 65 years, they've been involved in the Navy nuclear propulsion program. And that program specifically has depended on Hamel's precision manufacturing capabilities to support its aircraft carriers and submarine fleets. They are machining very large components out of this facility here in Pittsburgh. It is parts that are bigger than us and sometimes take up new rooms that they have to build just to make them. The other manufacturing member company is Global SFC Valve. It's about an hour and a half outside the city in Somerset County. And they're an industry leader in manufacturing, assembling, testing, and providing the inventory for U.S. Navy standard valves and components used by the Navy and the naval shipyards throughout the country. And last and certainly not least, another one to highlight is Penn State Tool and Die. And they've been supporting the manufacturing of specialized products for the defense industry since 1954. So we're doing a lot of great things here, and I'm excited to be able to share more about our machinist apprenticeship program. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Liz. Liz Blashock is our apprenticeship program manager. She lives day in and day out apprenticeship, working not only with apprentices and potential future apprentices like yourselves, but also with our companies and the state to help everyone get connected and find success in manufacturing, and specifically as a machinist. So I'm going to introduce and turn it over now to Liz, who's going to talk about the role of a machinist and how companies will train you through apprenticeship.
Thanks, Michelle. Do you want me to share my screen? Okay.
That sounds great. I'm going to swap out.
All right. Okay, go ahead. It says that you're still presenting.
That's funny. Hold on, let me try stopping that.
Okay.
That'll help you.
Yes. Thank you. Okay. As Michelle mentioned, we will go ahead. I'm going to show just a short video here
Hey, Liz.
about, yeah.
I just want to interrupt really quick.
Yes,
for those that are on the call, if you're still seeing the other presentation, there's tabs up at the top. Okay, disregard. Michelle, stop sharing hers. There you go.
Okay.
And Liz, on your end, we're seeing
I think I lost you.
We're going to have you start again. Share again.
Okay.
Take two.
Take two. Can you see it?
We see your note slides.
Okay. Now what do you see?
We're good. We're good.
You're good? Okay, because I can't see you. So if you need to interrupt me, just go ahead and interrupt. Because I can't see any of you. Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and I'm going to show a short video that talks about what a machinist and an apprenticeship program are. Ever wonder who makes the parts that power the world? From airplanes to medical devices, machinists are behind it all. Machinists use high-tech machines to create precise metal parts. It's a skilled, hands-on work with real-world impact. The NTMA is the National Tooling and Machining Association, and here in Pittsburgh, we have our own chapter of the NTMA. We are comprised of employers that believe in the future of manufacturing and the careers right here in Southwestern PA. One of the ways that we train the manufacturing workforce is we offer a machinist apprenticeship program. An apprenticeship program combines on-the-job training and classroom-based training.
My name is Marky McLean. I'm a precision grinder. I run an ID machine and I run OD machines. ID machines will grind the inner diameter of a part, which is visualize the inside of a soup can. The OD machines grind the outer diameter of the part, which would be the outside of the soup can. My father has always been a machinist or a precision grinder at different shops, and when I was little, he took me into one of his shops, and I just thought it was the coolest thing to see a piece of metal, a blank, and then he can turn it into something shiny and really cool looking. I enjoy most about the apprenticeship classes would be the learning new things, new tricks and trades, meeting everybody and learning their experiences and hearing their stories. The teachers that we have are very helpful and experienced in their backgrounds, and just enjoying going to class and learning new things.
A benefit to the apprentice is that they are not paying for classroom training. Their employer is paying on-the-job training and paying for their classroom training. The benefit to the employer is the highly skilled individual machinists that will graduate the program.
So I started aggressive grinding about 3 years ago, and I have moved into 3 different positions since then. The apprenticeship gave me the opportunity and the experience needed to be able to jump to those 3 different positions. On completing the NTMA apprenticeship, I earned my journeyman certificate for machining from the state of Pennsylvania, as well as earning 26 credits to Westmoreland Community College for a manufacturing degree. Like normal college classes, the classes at the NTMA apprenticeship are only 1 night a week for 4 hours. They include basic math, blueprint reading, and CNC programming, all skills that you would use in your normal everyday job.
There are very few females in this industry, and being one of them in the whole machine shop, it is definitely something to brag about. It's not very common to have females in here, so it's definitely fun to see when a new female comes in through the door to work.
Progressive grinding recognizes now that the benefit of having students and employees going through the apprenticeship, as they are more adaptable to different situations. You can plug and play them anywhere in the shop, and they tend to do very well at that, which all are skills they have learned throughout their apprenticeship. Going through the apprenticeship boosted my confidence a lot, because seeing where I started out and being able to make a part with help, and now at the end of my apprenticeship being able to take any drawing or blueprint and make it into anything that I could ever think of, was a super confidence builder, allowed me to know that I can do whatever I put my mind to. Manufacturing as a whole is seeing a change in the workforce due to retirement. Now is the time to get an in-demand, high-paying career, not just a job. Connect with the NTMA Apprenticeship Program. They collaborate with over 50 manufacturing companies in Western Pennsylvania.
Oh, how do I get out of that?
Just use your arrow, go next.
I clicked out, sorry.
It's a great video though. Really highlights a lot of the opportunity, and I think it gives a nice image too of what manufacturing looks like and the type of manufacturers we're working with, the metal workers.
Sorry, technical difficulties.
It's okay. It wouldn't be an online meeting if there weren't some sort of problems with the technical parts. We all know.
I literally can't click out of it.
I'll share for you.
Okay.
You guys see it?
Yes, except now I don't have my notes. So, let me pull up my notes. Sorry, everyone. Okay, so the video I think did a really good job about describing what a machinist does, but we're going to deep dive a little bit more into that. So machinists basically operate machines. They set up the tooling to cut the material. They configure different types of machines. We have CNC machines, which are computer numerical machines. And that's really where the industry is going, more towards advanced automated production. Machinists also interpret the blueprints. They're reading the blueprints and the drawings to understand the specifications of the part and how to make the part. Machinists also maintain their own equipment. They perform routine cleaning with some minor repairs on the machines that they use every day. Machinists also are a part of the quality control. They use different types of measuring tools, calipers, and micrometers to ensure that the part meets the exact specifications and the tolerances for the part. So what makes a good machinist? Unfortunately or fortunately, you do have to like math, a little bit of math. So you have to be comfortable with the math. Fractions and decimal points are very, very important. Terry, if I'm not mistaken, you got to know your decimals and fractions. You have to have a strong mechanical aptitude and problem-solving skills. So understanding how machines work, how to use the tools. You have to have a good attention to detail. You have to notice small deviations on a part or a print are very critical in making that final part. Good machinists take very pride in their craftsmanship. So you have to care about the part that you're making and where the end result is, and the pride in making that part. You have to show up to work. You have to pass the drug test. You have to be reliable to your other coworkers, that they can count on you to get your work done so they can get their work done, parts made and parts out the door. You have to have a willingness to learn. So technology changes every day, just like in technology of the world that we live in, manufacturing technology is changing every day. So you have to be willing to learn the new technologies. So we heard about what an apprenticeship program is in the video. There are two aspects of an apprenticeship program. One is the classroom-based training, what the state recognizes as related theory instruction. You have to have 144 hours of classroom-based training for 4 years. And then you have to have on-the-job training also. And on-the-job training is done at your employer. So every hour that you're working can count towards your on-the-job training. So you have to have a total of 2,000 hours of OJT for 4 years. So 8,000 hours of OJT combined with 576 hours of classroom training. That's how you get a nationally recognized and the Pennsylvania state certification of a journeyman machinist. That comes directly from the state. And that is a credential that you would receive after completing your apprenticeship. So we'll talk a little bit about on-the-job training and what that looks like. So as you're working on the job, you are earning a paycheck. You are getting wages every single day. You're going to work, you're making a paycheck. You're learning while you're working alongside a mentor or a supervisor, and you're applying what you learned at your classroom based training to what you're doing on your job, your daily tasks at your job every day. Your supervisor or your mentor is monitoring what you're learning and what your skills and abilities are through a checklist or what's called a job book. And I mentioned earlier, all of the hours that you are working at your job are counted towards that overall 8,000 hours. So who is doing the on-the-job training? Obviously, your employer is doing the on-the-job training. You can advance the slide, Michelle. We have well over 54 employers in the region just this current program year that are supporting 150 apprentices in our program. So you'll notice the red dots there, or the red flags. Those represent our member companies. We do have companies in our association that are not a member company, but they do support apprenticeship. And so those are designated as a purple flag. The green flags there are our future training locations, and the blue flags are our current training locations. So right now we have 3 current training locations. We're looking to open up 3 more training locations within the next year to support the fact that apprenticeship and machinist training is growing. As I mentioned, this current program year, we do have 150 apprentices supported by 54 companies. So what is the related theory instruction? That is the classroom-based training. So you are learning the theory of the knowledge of what you need in order to do your job at work. The classroom-based training is just 4 hours per week, and they're typically evening hours. We set up our classroom-based training more like a school calendar year. So you're going to class from September until May. Our instructors come directly from industry. So many of our instructors went through the program or their machine shop supervisors or managers throughout the area. There are 6 locations to choose from, like I mentioned. All of the training locations use the same training curriculum. The only thing that's different are the instructors, and the schedules sometimes are different. But we do that so that you can choose what schedule will fit you best. All of our training is in person. None of it is online training or remote training. Everything is done hands-on and in person. And there's a list of some of the example courses that we offer. So what are the benefits to you? Well, employers are paying for you to be trained. Again, all of your OJT hours are paid. Many of the employers are paying for you to go to class. They're paying for the class. They're paying the tuition cost for the class. Many of the employers reimburse the apprentices to drive to class. Some of the employers reimburse the apprentices to grab dinner on the way to class. So there's different benefits depending on the employer that you work for. We do offer advanced placement. So if you have some of the skills and knowledge already, you can test out of the course, which obviously would allow shorter training times, and you would save time and your employer would save money on some of that. You actually earn 26 credits towards the Westmoreland County Community College upon graduation of our apprenticeship program. From there, you can go on to earn an engineering degree or take more advanced training. And many employers will pay for you to go on to get more training. So the career pathway is an additional benefit. So the apprenticeship provides a structured career progression with increased responsibility and pay. So every year of apprenticeship training that you complete, you do earn a wage increase. Upon completion, you can move on to different specialized roles. The best engineers were machinists first. So there are many types of engineering roles that you can move into in manufacturing, like Michelle had mentioned, such as quality engineers, manufacturing engineers, and process engineers. There are many leadership roles that you can move on to, such as a lead machinist, a shop supervisor, a production manager, operations manager, or a lean manufacturing manager. Another benefit is job satisfaction and job security. Pittsburgh is saturated with manufacturers, as Michelle had already mentioned. You will never be without a job as a machinist if you live in Pittsburgh. If I had $1 for every time I had a manufacturer contact me asking if I had a machinist available, I literally wouldn't be on this call today. Well, I probably would, but maybe not. So the need will continue as the U.S. strives to keep manufacturing here. Again, job security. Another benefit is expanding your network. So by attending training, you build a community which supports job growth, career advancement, and a lifelong learning. And moving on, we do have a veteran on the call today. Terry Ashley is a current apprentice in our program. And Terry, I'm going to throw it to you, if you don't mind, to introduce yourself, tell us who you work for, and what your current job is.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yep.
Okay. My name is Terry Ashley. I work for VersaFab. I am a CNC machinist apprentice. I work on the Doosan HC 400 horizontal mill.
Okay.
My day-to-day parts change.
Awesome. So I do apologize. We had another candidate or veteran that was supposed to be on our call and something came up and he was unable to join us today. So Terry, we are spotlighting you only. So sorry to shine the light just on you today, but I think I think you'll be okay. So the next question is, could you tell us a little bit about your military background and the role that you had in the military?
So I was a 2512 field wireman in communications. A lot of things I dealt with were communication switchboards on a Humvee, doing muck shots, which is short range satellite controls, and wiring up communications phones and field wise.
Okay. And when you started transition out of the military, I know your story is a little bit different than what Josh's story was, but you didn't manufacturing is new to you, right? You didn't go right into manufacturing. You worked in a different field for a little while, right?
Yes, when I got out of the Marine Corps, I found out, even though I went into communications as a field wireman, um, everybody that I had talked to about getting into that field when I returned home, would told me that, you know, it would cost too much to be retrain me on how they do things. So
Mhm.
I had went into the construction field, and I did construction since, you know, I got out of the Marine Corps, going every year, you know, being laid off in the winter time,
Mm.
hustling for side jobs and stuff. And it was, it was difficult. I mean, you can make a good living at doing construction. It's just, you know, when I got offered a job here, having a steady income coming in, having some place that I can actually, you know, come to every day and not have to worry about the weather was
Mhm.
a really big plus. And then given the opportunity to start the apprenticeship program, I I joke around with my son because we used to watch that show, How It's Made,
Yeah,
and now I'm living that
you
show,
are living that. Yeah,
and it's
that's
really
really
cool
cool.
because I get challenged every day on what I do,
Mhm.
thinking of how I'm going to do something, making sure it's done right, checking my
Mhm.
math. You know, it's challenging,
Yeah.
but I enjoy it.
Did you know about the apprenticeship program before you worked at VersaFab, or was that something that your employer offered to you?
Well, they had came to me after, because I had originally started to work in the saw cutting area where
Okay.
I was just cutting parts for everybody at the machine shop. And
Mhm.
then they came back and said, "Hey, we have an opening. Would you be willing to try this apprenticeship program?" And they had told me about what it was, what it consists of.
Mhm.
So I had agreed to it, and they have just been go, go, go ever since. But I
Yeah.
actually really enjoy it. It's challenging, but what I really liked about it was, you know, that it challenged me. It
Mhm. How do you feel about the classes? I know probably going back to school is probably not something that you really wanted to do, but do you enjoy going to class? Do you enjoy meeting other classmates? I know you're going to be graduating here soon in a couple of months, but what's the classroom been like?
So the classroom, it wasn't really that bad going back to class. I was nervous at it about first. Um, it's been so long since I've been in school,
Hmm.
but it one of the things that I really liked, because my math skills, even though I knew how to do decimals and fractions and stuff, is the higher advanced math that you know, I was afraid that I wasn't going to be able to learn, but they were able to break things down to a level that where everybody was able to learn it
Mhm.
and increase the level of difficulty with it easily instead of, just throwing it at you saying, well, here you go, figure it out. I gave you the tools you need. It's not
Yeah.
like that at all.
Yeah. That's one thing I love about our instructors is they kind of have all been in the seat before. They've all been a student before. And so they're very passionate about the industry and giving back and mentoring students. So what's next for you? You're going to graduate in a few months. Do you have any goals for what happens next? I assume you'll remain at VersaFab. You'll have your journeyman certification. Do you talk about moving on to like a lead machinist or something along those lines, or using the credits towards an engineering degree? Or a lot of people stay where they are, and that's great too. I was just curious where you feel like what your next step is.
Well, I to be honest with you, just recently found out about the credits towards advanced schooling, and it kind of sparked a big interest,
Mm-hmm.
of being more than just, a machinist, maybe progressing to the point to where I'm a lead machinist,
Mm-hmm.
even into a supervisor role would,
Yeah.
I think would really be great. That and showing my kids that, even at my age, I can learn something, and get
Mm-hmm.
a degree in something.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, do you have any final last words before
Mm,
we say thank you to you?
Just don't be afraid to put yourself out there and try. It's,
Exactly.
that's what I can say.
Yeah. Do you feel like you have job security now that
I
you're
feel like
a machinist?
I feel like no matter where I go, I can find
Mhm.
a job at doing as a machinist.
Yeah,
No matter
absolutely.
what the road ahead of me
Yeah.
rides.
Okay. Well, thank you, Terry, so much for being here and answering questions, and you did a great job. Um, do we want to pass it off to questions if there's anyone here on the call that maybe has a question for Terry?
Um, I have a question for Terry.
Yes, sir.
So, when you are in class, you have basically a weekly payout for being in the program.
Well, with where I work at, I do on the job training, and then in the evening, I went to my classes every week. They paid for my classes and my books.
Okay.
So
Okay. So basically, you worked as an apprentice, then you just went to school in the evening.
yes,
What? So what was a average day like from as far as hours
well, I
for
would
you?
work 8 hours during the day, on the day that I had my classes, and then I would head to school, um, from work, and I would
Okay.
attend the classes anywhere.
So between, let's say, classes and work, that would be what, like a 12-hour day, or so let's say
Yeah,
if you
it's
gotta
just
get
probably
home.
about that. It's probably about
Okay.
that, about a 12-hour day. But you
Okay.
figure it's only one day a week, and it can only
Oh,
benefit.
okay. Yes. One day a week. Okay. All right. Okay. So that was a full 4 years for you.
Yes, it'll be 4 years come June.
All right. Hmm. And
And for
where'd
the
you learn?
class portion, I will, sorry to interrupt, just so that
Oh,
you're clear on this. The classes are just September until May, so you have the summer off, if that helps at all. Yeah.
right. Maybe you said that and I missed it.
No, that's
Okay.
okay. We're throwing a lot of information at you. So
Okay.
yeah, please ask questions.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Terry. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And one thing I will mention, you were asking about the hours per day. So that particular day, where apprentices do go to class, every employer is different on how they adjust the apprentice's schedule. So if an apprentice is on like a regular 8-hour shift, some employers will let them leave work early to go to class, or they come to work late, so they're not working more than an 8-hour day. Some employers do pay for the apprentice to go and sit at class as a part of their workday. And some don't. So some you have to, if you leave work to go to class, you have to make up those 4 hours at the end of the week. So it's very dependent on how the employer has it set up. But I would say about 90% of the employers are paying for that individual as a part of their workday.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Are there any other questions for Terry or about specifically the apprenticeship training? And then we'll toss it back over, I think, to Michelle.
Looks like it's my turn.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that person was maybe trying to come off mute. The Covington?
Oh, no, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No more questions. That was it. Thank you.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Awesome. So thank you, Liz, and definitely thank you, Terry, for sharing your experience and how you transitioned. And I loved all of the things that you highlighted, and especially the things that you're talking to your children about. I think that's really important to help them understand. Lifelong learning is so important for everyone to find success, and you're living it every day. And I think that's a great message to be sharing with them. So thank you. For those on the call or not on the call and watching later, what's next? So if you're attending today and you're not registered with NextOp, please complete your registration. I'm sure, Anthony, you can share that information in the chat and or they can reach out to you. If you are already registered with NextOp and you're interested in learning more about Pittsburgh and the opportunities that we have through our machinist apprenticeship program or anything in manufacturing, even if it's not machinist apprenticeship related, I know that's what we focused and talked about today, but we have connections with over 100 different employers in our region, different manufacturers. So if you're interested in a different type of role potentially at a company, please reach out to your employment coordinator through NextOp, and they'll get you connected to us, and we can help you find the best pathway and the best opportunities here in Pittsburgh. Thank you all again. My name is Michelle Conklin again, and Liz Blashock. We're at the Pittsburgh chapter NTMA. This QR code takes you to our website. So if you're interested in just learning more about our organization, our companies, the apprenticeship program, anything like that, feel free to check that out. But at this time, I think that concludes our presentation for today. So thank you all. And thank you, NextOp, for hosting us.
Yeah, so thank you, Michelle and Liz and Terry. Your information was so insightful. It was even great for me. Every time I hear you guys speak, I learn a little bit more. But I do have one question and concern for Mr. Jackson. Where are you? It looks like you have a massive storm behind you and that you're about to get blown away with either snow or rain. I don't know if you can tell.
Currently I am, you're not going to believe this, but I'm actually out in Ecuador right now.
Oh.
I went on a little bit of a traveling journey just to learn and experience new cultures. I wanted to step out of America for a little bit and learn some stuff. In fact, just months ago for Halloween, I was actually in Brazil doing some learning there too. And I just wanted to immerse myself, learn new cultures, meet new people, experience new things. And then I found y'all, NextOp, was that last month, I think it was. And I found out about this and I thought, you know what? I met some people out in Peru and they were talking about something similar to this. They're actually going to school over in Peru doing something very similar, doing like robotics and not manufacturing, robotics and technology and stuff. I mean, I don't know if y'all have ever been to Peru, but they're very big in mining and stuff over there and other things. But dang, I'm like, these people over here in Peru, they're very smart. College kids, 20s, 20-year-olds, young 30-year-olds doing their thing. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should get into that. So I'm sitting here thinking to myself, how do I get involved in this with myself? And then sure enough, NextOp sent this link to me, this NTMA thing. It was my research. I'm like, you know what? Maybe this is just God's timing. Because everything kind of just worked its way out. Like, imagine if I would have came to Ecuador from Texas, because I'm from Texas. Imagine if I would have came from Ecuador to Texas immediately. I never would have met these Peruvians. And I'm like, I've been sitting here like, maybe. So
Hey, Anthony,
now
I feel like
listening
I'm getting
to everything here, I'm like, I mean, yeah, I'm sorry for the bad reception. I mean, it's not the Wi-Fi here is not that great, but yeah, I heard everything. I'm like, oh, that's so interesting. I'm like, oh, maybe this is a good sign for me to check it out. Because another thing, I've never, like you, Jenny, I've never been to Pennsylvania. I've heard about the state. I know that's where, Terry and I know what's in Pennsylvania. We're both Marines, so we know what's over there.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Ton Tavern's up there, so why not? I've always wanted to go see Ton Tavern, so I figure this would be a good opportunity for me to work there and check out where my perfect, even better, perfect.
I feel like I have my first Pittsburgh success story. I feel like we're getting lined up right here.
Yeah, I think you might have two. It's awesome. So yeah, I just wanted to take some time to thank the NTMA team as well. Great presentation, great job. Sounds like there's a lot of opportunity with you guys, especially given the imbalance between manufacturing careers and the professional roles that everyone go to college, get your degree, and go do this. And now there's a lot of struggle with that. So I feel like the manufacturing is really coming back up, and the trades, and you guys are providing a great service to our veterans and other people to get into manufacturing. So well done to you guys. For the veterans on the call, I posted a link to the survey in here. If you can, before we or immediately after this call, if you can click on that, take that survey. It's only 5 questions. And then if you're not a NextOp veteran already, I posted the link in the chat so you can become a NextOp candidate. I'm sorry. Other than that, I don't have anything else. To the NTMA team and to Jen, do you guys have anything? Okay, one more thing. If these veterans want to get directly in touch with you to maybe ask a follow-on question that comes up after, who is the best person, and can you drop your info in the chat?
We can both put our info in the chat, Michelle and I.
Perfect. And then we'll see. Is it Chody or Chody? How do you say it, Mr. Jackson? I think he's stuck. Either way, we're going to see. Oh, there you go.
I just go by Jackson. You can just call me Jackson.
All right. Hey, well, Semper Jackson. I'm a Marine as well. And to you too as well, Covington.
All right. Thanks, everyone. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
Okay. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Hey,
Thanks,
NTMA team, I got a question.
Yeah.
Can you guys, do you guys have a few minutes after the call? Can I steal your minds for a second?
Absolutely.
Thanks.
All right. Hey, so my name's Charles. I'm the North Texas Program Manager. The reason why I jumped on today, I saw that you guys had a call going on.
Let me stop the recording.
Appreciate it.